There is a particular moment that arrives quietly in professional life. It doesn't announce itself as a crisis. There is no dramatic failure, no obvious mistake. You are still employed, still respected, still seen as capable. But something has shifted. The sense of forward movement you once felt has softened into maintenance. You are busy, but no longer advancing in a way you can clearly describe. This usually happens to people who did things correctly, people who took education seriously, who earned their credentials, certifications, degrees, and titles without shortcuts, people whose early careers rewarded reliability, diligence, and intellectual discipline. For a long time, the system responded predictably. Study more, qualify further, move up. Years pass like this. Your resume becomes dense. Your professional language becomes fluent. You are trusted with complexity. Others consult you. You are rarely the least competent person in the room. And yet, despite all this evidence of capability, your trajectory feels strangely flat, not stalled outright, just indistinct. This is where capable people get confused, because nothing is obviously wrong. The confusion comes from a mismatch that is difficult to name. Effort is still being applied. Credentials are still accumulating. Responsibility still expands. But progress has become ambiguous. You cannot easily point to how today's work compounds into tomorrow's position. Qualifications, by design, are signals. They indicate readiness, knowledge, and discipline. Early in a career, those signals align neatly with opportunity. More qualification equals more access. But at some point, the signal stops functioning as direction. It keeps certifying competence without clarifying purpose. So activity continues. Courses are taken. Skills are refined. Committees are joined. Projects are completed. From the outside, it all reads as momentum. From the inside, it feels like motion without a destination. The professional identity becomes defined by what you can do, not by what you are becoming. Nothing is technically wrong. And that's the problem. The cost of this does not appear immediately. It accumulates quietly. Years begin to blend together. You become known as dependable, adaptable, useful, but not necessary. You are invited in because you can help, not because something distinct is missing without you. Over time, this creates a subtle erosion of confidence. Not the loud kind associated with failure, but a quieter doubt. Why does my work feel interchangeable? You may notice that less experienced people with sharper positioning begin to pass you, not because they are more capable, but because they are more legible. Professional visibility declines in strange ways. You are still present, still involved, but no longer central. Your contributions are valued locally, but they do not travel. You become context-bound, impressive inside a role, less defined outside of it. This is often when people work harder. They assume the issue is insufficient depth, insufficient preparation, insufficient proof, so they add another credential, another specialization, another layer of qualification. The very thing that created safety earlier now quietly delays confrontation with a harder question. The qualification trap is not about education itself. It is about substitution. Credentials begin as tools. Then, slowly, they become placeholders for decisions not being made. Qualifications feel productive because they are accumulative. They can be earned without resolving uncertainty about direction. They allow you to postpone choice while still feeling responsible and ambitious. Over time, they create the illusion of movement while protecting you from the discomfort of committing to a specific professional shape. The trap tightens when identity gets anchored to being well qualified rather than being oriented toward a particular form of leverage. You become someone who is broadly impressive instead of specifically consequential, and because the system rewards competence generously, it rarely forces the issue. The issue isn't effort. It's that effort has been allowed to replace intention, and intention, unlike credentials, cannot be accumulated gradually. It requires exclusion. It requires deciding what your work is not in service of.